Just, yeah, I'll upload it and then just let me know if you want it to be private. Okay, so for some reason, so like click on your friends list and see if you can invite me. For some reason, it's not like pulling you up. I just can't see.
Uh, okay.
So do
This is
this. Can you see my screen?
no, I can't.
Oh yeah, you can't. You're right. 1 second. All right, can you see it now?
I can just see a blue Discord symbol.
Yeah. So just hang up and then join the call back, and then you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
All right, you should be able to see it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So click on this, please, again,
Yeah.
and then you should see my name. I hope.
Ooh. No, Aiden 301. No, I don't see you for some reason.
I'll just hang on. I might see you now.
I'll search you up again though. AIDAN. Space 3. Oh. There, I see you on PC. I friend requested you again.
Yeah. See. So like right now, basically the friend system is not working. I mean, like it's super buggy. I've had this problem with like all my clients the last few days. Um, what we can do is we can just go over settings first. So here's my settings. Do you have any set?
I gotta leave the call again. Wait, no, I can just hit watch, right?
Yeah, you should be able to see it. Can you see it?
It shows a blue Discord. I think I'm gonna have to disconnect again.
Yeah, yeah, you can do it.
Alright, see you now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. So here's my settings. You can copy them if you want. I can also read them all out to you if you want. Um, I don't know. Are you happy with your settings, or do you want to go over these really quickly?
I'm pretty happy with my settings, but is there any big thing that you would like that you think I should edit from deep being default or something?
Yeah. So like, I don't know. Things that I really like are mini map rotation on. I definitely recommend it. But like what's super important, but you don't need it if you don't want it, mini map rotation on. What's super
Any more-
important is so
Oh, okay, I'll turn it on.
yeah. What else is very important is weapon auto cycle on empty. This is very important to have this off. Very important.
Oh wow, it's on. Okay, I'm turning it off.
Yeah, very very important to have it off. Damage numbers stacking, that's pretty important. It's at the top. Damage numbers stacking. I've got crosshair damage feedback off. That's where the X shows up. You can have it on or off. It's up to you, but I definitely prefer it off. Auto sprint on controller is very, very important. So I
Wait,
play.
what does crosshair damage do? Like when it says like 30 if you shoot someone?
No, so that's damage numbers. So we're still gonna have damage numbers if we have that set to stacking, but damage feedback is the X that shows up. So you know that X, it's like a hit marker X.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you can have that on or off. The reason I have it off is so I can see better when I'm shooting someone. I would say probably like 60% of pros have this off, and then like 40% have it on. It's really up to you though.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it off.
Cool. Auto sprint on, please.
Auto sprint on. Okay.
What controller are you on?
A regular controller doesn't have back pads or anything like that.
Okay, cool. So jetpack control, you probably want to keep this on toggle, but it's up to you. Incoming damage feedback, 2D, taking,
Okay, I'll turn it.
or I mean, like you can do 3D if you want, but don't do both. Both is really bad. You can do 2D or 3D. Taking damage closes death box off, and then the next
Oh,
ones aren't really important until performance display. You can have that on if you want. Like,
well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got lost when you said taking damage closes up death box.
yeah, yeah, this one right here. Taking damage, you'll see it. Taking damage closes death box menu off, please.
Okay.
Um, Performance display is the next important one. I mean, it's not really important, but I'd have it on if I were you.
Okay.
Reticle is the next important one, so just find reticle.
So just leave it on default.
Um,
Oh, wait.
which one?
I see reticle and it says default or customize.
Yeah, click on customize, please. And then
Okay.
click, let me show you my cursor. Click right here, please. This one that I'm highlighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna really like that. The reason why, yeah, it's like teal, right? Like light blue kind of.
So my shooter will look like.
Yeah. So like, the reason this is so good is because it's very easy to see, but it's not too bright, so it's not going to get in your way. So you need something that's easy to see, but it's also not too like bright. So that's why I really like it.
Okay. Thank you. I never even knew this was an option. This is awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're definitely gonna like it. Laser sight, you can do whatever color you want. Laser sight doesn't matter at all. So laser sight, click on customize, and then do whatever color you want.
Okay. That's gonna be a bright green. My favorite color.
Nice.
Oh, my mode is off for me.
Yeah, just keep that off. These ones don't really matter. It's personal preference. Moving on to controller settings. Button layout. I'll just give you a couple like really quick button layout ideas.
But where's button layout?
Oh, sorry. Go controller settings. At the top, yeah, and then button layouts at the top. It's the top setting.
Okay.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I'm in it.
Okay. So, I'll just give you like a couple ideas. You've got a lot of options here. So a lot of people really like, the first thing that a lot of people really like is button puncher. So that's where you just switch crouch over to right stick and melee to B, because that allows you to crouch, slide, like, jump around and look at the same time. So like,
Yeah. I think I might change it to button puncher.
yeah. So that's a really nice one. And then also evolved. If you just look at, so like what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to give you some like inspiration when it comes to button layout. Like I don't want to tell you what's best for you, but like also look at evolved. Evolved is a nice one too. So evolved is like button puncher, but it moves jump to your LB as well. So that's another one that you can consider. And then, but the very last thing that you want to consider is, now that we're on auto sprint, did you play auto sprint before this?
I've always played auto sprint. Like when I'm running. Wait.
Perfect.
I've always played auto sprint.
And so, if you think about that, your left stick isn't really being used for anything, the clicker on your left stick. And so, it's not really being used for anything except for toggle zoom, and that's not really a priority. So we could put anything we want on the left stick. And then we can, so like for example, we could put jump on the left stick, crouch on the right stick. See what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we can jump and crouch without, yeah, you know what I mean. So for that, what we would do, which is what I would recommend for now. I would definitely recommend doing it. You can always switch it back if you want. So click on customize like this.
Okay.
Customized. And then click on your left stick like this. So click, sorry, let me use my controller. All right, so click this left stick.
I'm in it. Okay.
And then click A like that. And then that's going to move jump to your left stick and sprint to your A button. And now click.
Wait, give me a minute. Wait a minute. Sorry. So jump to my left stick and A to do what?
A will just zoom. A will do sprint and zoom. But since you sprint automatically, so yeah. So anyway, yeah. So click on this. So this is does your screen look like this right now?
Yeah, it does.
Perfect.
It already looks, but I haven't changed anything, and it still looks like yours.
Okay.
Exactly.
Perfect. Let me teach you how to change it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on this. Click on it.
Yeah.
Does it look like mine right now?
Press any button to bind.
Yeah, and then click A, and then that's gonna switch jump to your left stick.
It's gonna switch jump to my left stick. Okay.
And now click this, melee. Click it.
Yeah.
And then click B, and now crouch is on your right stick, and melee's on B.
But didn't we just change melee before? Oh, that was with button puncher setting.
Yeah.
We had it on button puncher. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're doing the same, but with some custom settings. So yeah. And then like I don't know. Let's see. Just as an idea, like, so something that you can think about in the future. I'm not certain if I would recommend this, but just as something that you could think about. Since ping is sort of technically less important than melee, arguably, it's up to you though. You could move melee over to your right bumper, for example, just like as an idea. It's really up to you.
I think I might want to do that. And that make ping would just be B.
Yeah, ping would be B. Yeah. The reason why I was hesitating to recommend it, the only downside is that then you can't really ping things on your map. At least in season 7 when I did it, I couldn't ping things on my map. I haven't tried it since then, but it's up to you.
Oh, okay, I see that. Okay, I'm not gonna do that then.
Yeah.
I'm fine with how it is now.
Cool, cool. But yeah, definitely think about it. I know a lot of top players just like do that and then give up the fact that they can't ping their map. So, yeah. But it's totally up to you. All right.
I need to ping my map because some of the people I play with can't hear me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, you can still ping, but you just can't ping on the map. So, and that's just from my experience. So, like, I haven't tried that setting since season 7, so there's a chance they might have changed it. So, yeah. All right.
Wait, they actually did change it. It's the left little 2 squares to get out of it on the mini map.
Yes.
No, it's pinging. Okay. Well,
Well,
thank you for that.
yeah, but what I mean is, so like right now you can click RB on your map, like what you're looking at. So you can pull up your map and click RB to ping a certain building, for example. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. So if it's B, you may not be able to ping, but yeah, we'll see. You'll figure it out. So if it's a problem, you can always change it back. Moving on.
Okay.
Stick layout default.
Stick layout default.
Unless you don't want it to be default, it's personal preference, but I think default's by far the best. Interact reload button, tap to use and reload. Crouch button. So crouch button, since we're like I use paddles, so
But I think I want to use toggle.
yeah, I agree. If you don't have paddles, toggle is a lot better. Aim button, hold. Survival slot button on.
Trigger dead zones, none.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, trigger dead zone's none. It's a lot better. It makes you shoot faster. Menu cursor speed. You're gonna want to do like about 6 ticks up. Between 6 and 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what I did when I was on console, and then when I switched to PC, I did 12. So it's really up to you. Anywhere between 6 and 12 is really good. Closer to 12 is going to be a little bit on the fast side. So it's really up to you. All right, what sensitivity settings are you on?
I'm on default.
Default, so 3.3.
Yep.
Okay.
No,
cool.
it just shows. So should I turn on high sensitivity like you?
Yeah. So yeah, 4.4 is going to be good. You might want to consider. So do you find that 3.3 is too slow for you ever?
Yeah, a bit. Sometimes, like if I'm in a really close up fight, and I end up walking on the other side of a person, it takes me too long to turn around, and I end up getting shot more than I was necessary.
Yeah. And what about when you're aiming down sights? Is it too slow?
That's not too slow, but normally when I aim down sights, I'm farther away.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, I think I'm good with high four.
So we can. So if on 3, if aiming down sights wasn't too slow, you can stick with 3. Like you can do 4.3 if you want, and then your aim down sights will stay the same. It's up to you. But
okay,
that's what.
I'm gonna change it up. I think I like high 4 though, because then if someone moves, I'll have a better chance of targeting them. Because sometimes I think they're too fast for me, and my movement's too slow.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you're doing 4.4. Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then we don't need to touch per optics. If you were to do 4.3, which a lot of people do, it would look like this. That's what you would want to do if you did 4.3. But since we're doing 4.4, we just keep it like this.
Yeah.
Response curve. What's your response curve on right now?
Classic.
Yeah, that's what you want. What's your look dead zone on?
Oh, my look dead zone is on the large.
Okay, yeah, so we want that on none. That's the most important factor in controlling recoil is look dead zone. So if your look dead zone is any higher than none, it's going to be so much harder to control recoil. So yeah,
What's recoil?
recoil is when you shoot and the gun goes up.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. I knew that. I thought you were talking about something else for like how if my screen moves or something.
Nope. Yeah, don't worry about stick drift too much. Everyone has a little bit of stick drift. It's just something you have to deal with. I mean, like, but when your thumb is on the stick, usually it's not an issue unless your controller is completely broken, like really, really bad. But it's
Okay,
probably
so
not.
yeah, it's not.
Yeah, just keep it on, please. Movement dead zone small.
Yep, inverted look is off, and but vibration I do have on.
Yeah, you can have it on or off. I'd recommend it off though. But on isn't bad. Like on isn't that bad, but I think off is better. Maybe experiment with off. I think you'll like it better.
Okay, I kind of want to keep it on because I really like the experience of the rumbles. That's like one of my favorite parts about games like these.
Yeah, you can have it on.
Okay.
I think there's a small chance having it off will like sort of improve your aim because it's not going to be distracting, but it's really up to you. I'm not certain. All right, moving on to video settings.
You have way more stuff in video settings. There's literally only three things. There's only four things I can do in video.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I used to be on console too, so I know it's just like these three. So, but field of view, just do 102, please.
That's funny. That's my exact field of view.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a really good one. FOV ability scaling disabled.
FOV building scaling disabled.
And then sprint view shake minimal.
Oh wait, I wish we could just turn that off.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And then brightness, click on your brightness.
I did.
And what's your brightness on?
I can't really give you a number.
Oh, can you just give me an idea? Like, just give me a percentage. Just guess.
Pretty much in the middle,
Yeah.
but just a bit to the right of the middle.
Okay, cool. You might want to consider going further to the right. It's up to you. When I was on console, I played on about 80%. It might allow you to see better, but it's really up to you.
Okay, I'll turn it 20% above. Wait, that's 80, right? No, it's 70.
Yeah,
I'll turn it.
I played on about 80 when I was on console.
Okay, mine's on 80 now.
All right, let me just see one more time. Is your Xbox name the same as your Discord? It's Scrap.
It's the same as everything. Capital SCRAPPY. But on Apex, for some reason, it still has my 3303.
Oh.
It's not me. That wasn't me.
Oh, I see. So it's Scrappy.
862-3303.
Did I do it right?
Capital SCRAPPY. Capital SCRAPPY 862-3303. It might not pop up as 3303 on your screen. Take away the 3303 maybe.
And that?
No, take away that 3. That last 3.
Like that?
Yep, and that's 8628.
Okay.
So just try searching it again, but 862. Maybe the one below it was the right one?
862?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says this one's a PC though, so but
I'm not on PC either. I've never played Apex on PC nor on PlayStation. I've only ever played video games on Xbox.
Okay, I see. So that probably wasn't you. It's okay though. It's not a big deal. What we can do is we can just hop in the firing range, and yeah, and just go from there. Like we can just hop in separate firing ranges, and since you can see my screen anyway, it's not that big of a deal.
Guess so. I was trying to do a bit of duo coaching, but since we can't do that, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, like the thing is like we can definitely do duo coaching, but you're just not like I don't think you understand how much I can teach you in the firing range. Like, there's a lot I can teach you. Like, you're gonna get a lot more value out of the firing range stuff. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's just like duo coaching. I don't know. It's honestly so much less effective than what I can do for you here. So, yeah,
Okay. All right, I'm going in.
perfect.
Can we join the Xbox party though, so I don't have to talk to you through Discord, so I can listen to my headset?
We can, but like we don't really need to hear the game volume at all right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we really don't need to hear the game volume. Would you mind just like talking here?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, cool. Just because like the Xbox party, there's a good chance it just won't work on my PC because sometimes it just doesn't work. So yeah. All right. So first thing is, I'm just gonna run through it really quickly because you said you wanted to get through movement, so I just want to run through some aim based things really quickly. And remember, you're gonna have the recording, so like if I go too fast, you can just come back to it. Okay.
Okay.
So R301. I practice a lot with iron sights. I always grab a gold mag. So grab a gold or a purple mag, and work on your recoil control. Recoil control is pretty much the most important skill in the game because if you can't control recoil, you got a big issue, right? So just grab a gold mag. No other attachments for now. Just a gold mag, and just work on that recoil control. Work on one clipping the dummies. Work on like if you're this close, your end goal. Like I know you can't do that right now, but
Excuse me. I'm so sorry, but my screen time just timed out. Can you give me a quick moment to get my dad to
yeah,
give me parent access?
yeah, go for it.
I'm going. I'm back.
Yeah. All right. You said you're back. Like you're good to go, or
I'm good to go now.
all right. Can you see my screen still?
Loading. Signing in. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I was talking about recoil control. So anyway, the reason we practice with a gold mag is so that we get the full recoil pattern. Without the gold mag, we only get 18 bullets, and so the pattern is a lot like different, or it's a lot shorter, right? Whereas if we get the full 28 bullets, then we get the full pattern. The most important gun to learn on is the R301. It's pretty much the most important gun for a controller player to know when it comes to recoil. Especially on console, the R301 is by far the best primary weapon, so you definitely want to master that. Also, a lot of people... Sorry?
The recoil is the best to practice on?
Yeah, it's very important to get good at recoil. One more thing I just want to show you is how inconsistent the recoil pattern is on the R301. It's very inconsistent. And so you don't want to be memorizing it. You want to get good at reacting to it. So right now, like I have no idea what the pattern is. I'm just reacting to what, like, so when it goes left, I pull right. When it goes right, I pull left. And so I'm just reacting to it.
I get it.
And then one last thing is it's a lot harder with sights. So you want to practice with like a 3x, for example, because it's so much harder. And so if you get good with the 3x, your iron sight and your 1x is going to be crazy. It's going to be so good. It's going to feel like it has very little recoil. So that's all I've got for that.
So practice with the 3x Ranger.
Yeah, and like any other zoomed in sights, because zoomed in sights are harder to control recoil on controller, and so you want to get good at them all. So yeah. All right, moving on to the next point. Let's grab a R9 and an R301, please. R9, R301, and a gold mag on both. And
R9 is my favorite gun.
Awesome.
Crap. I accidentally hit the bullet challenge. Gotta get my loot back. Let me die. What game? I didn't mean it. Can't even die. What happened?
Oh, just drop your gun. That should work.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Noob. Noob. Okay. Alright, I got aim. I'm aiming, and I got gold mags on both of them.
Perfect. And then come over here, please, when you're ready. Also, I never practice with barrel stabilizers because barrel stabilizers make it way easier, so wouldn't really recommend that.
But when you fight in a real Apex game, you would want to use barrel stabilizers, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. It'll make it easier in-game. It's just the goal in the firing range is to not make it easier because we want to practice using, like, the worst case scenario attachments. But the reason for the gold mag is so that we get the full pattern, like so we learn the full recoil pattern. All right.
So I thought you said you couldn't learn it.
Okay, it's not that. It's not that you can't learn it. It's that there's like 10 different variations, or like maybe 20 different variations. So what I mean by that is like it's about learning how to react to the full pattern, regardless of what the pattern is. You're right. You can't learn it. You can't learn the full pattern itself. Like you can't memorize the full pattern, but what you can do is you can learn how to react to the end of the pattern because the first 18 bullets are so much different. So.
Wait, I thought you wanted me to go up here. My bad.
Oh, it's all good.
I started going to the upstairs.
And then we can come over to the shotguns whenever you're ready. The reason I practice in front of the shotguns is because it's flat, or in the sand. The sand is flat, so like it's not gonna mess with my practice. The other dummies have like surfaces in front of them that are not flat, so I don't really practice there. All right, are you here where I am right now?
Beside the shotguns?
Yeah, perfect. So first thing that I want to show you is just observe my screen right now, please. So observe my R9 strafe speed when I'm aiming down sights. You'll see it's very, very fast on the submachine gun, right? So submachine guns have very fast aim down sight strafe speed, and assault rifles have very slow aim down sight strafe speed. Can you tell the difference for yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, so way, way different. This rule applies to every submachine gun and every assault rifle. And now if we look at the hip fire strafe speed. So don't aim down sights and observe the strafe speed. You'll see that's way faster. It's the exact same on every gun, the hip fire strafe speed. And so that means, now look at my screen again, please. That means that when we're this close, we want to make sure that we're hip firing our assault rifles, because if we're aiming down sights, we're not moving fast enough. We have to be hip firing. Okay, and we have to be strafing. Sorry?
That's one of the big things I want to learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's very important to be hip firing, very important to be strafing, very, very important. So yeah, with an assault rifle specifically. But if we're using a submachine gun, we can aim down sights or hip fire. The movement speed is very close either way, so it just depends on what you're more comfortable with the submachine gun. You can do either one.
Okay, so I think I'm going to aim on my submachine guns, and with my ARs, I'm going to not aim.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's going to take some getting used to.
But sometimes, let me give you just one example. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're this close, you don't want to aim the submachine gun because it takes so long to adjust. Like, because your aim down sight sensitivity is so low, it's going to take a really long time to adjust, that we might have to hip fire because it's going to be easier to make adjustments. So we might have to hip fire when we're that close. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Next, or I'll just talk a couple more quick things. Just observe my screen really quickly, please. You see how I'm being a little bit inconsistent with my strafe? It's just a little bit inconsistent and unpredictable. Okay.
I did it so he can't predict you if he was actually trying to kill you.
Sorry.
So he can't so he can't predict you. So if he was actually trying to kill you, he wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And so yeah, you want to make it a little bit unpredictable, but what's most important is that you're using is two things. First thing, very important, is that you're perfectly lateral. Okay, perfectly left and right, no forward and backward action. Okay, it has to be perfectly left and right because that's like just optimizing your movement. So a lot of people have this habit. Just keep watching, please. A lot of people have the habit of sort of rainbow strafing like this almost. See how it's going like sort of forward and back? We want to be perfectly left and right and like almost like parallel to the to his strafe. So because forward and backward movement is wasted movement, we want to be perfectly left and right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Next, that's very important, is we need to use our strafe to help our aim. Okay, so if I'm over aiming to the right like this, I need to strafe left to make that adjustment. Like if I'm over aiming right and I strafe right, this is for hip fire specifically. If I'm over aiming right and strafe right, that doesn't make sense because it's making it way harder for me to aim. So if I'm over aiming right, I have to strafe left. That's all there is to it.
Why wouldn't you turn left?
Because it's way easier to make that adjustment with my left stick than it is with my right stick. Because the left stick, you see what I mean? Like, so try.
You mean like right? You mean right stick than left stick, right?
No, it's easier with my left stick because. So like when I'm hip firing, so much of my aim, I'm not really touching my right stick at all. I'm barely touching it. So like when I'm over aiming to the right like this, try making that adjustment with your right stick. Try making that adjustment with your right stick. It's simply not as precise, and when you're playing against a moving target, it's way more effective to be left stick aiming. Okay, so
I think we have different things because when you're telling me to walk around instead of turning my aim, but my aim to turn with my aim is my right stick, and to move is I use my left stick.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. I know. So what I'm saying is when you're hip firing close range, you have to use your left stick to aim, just like Halo, right? So Halo is a left stick aiming game. If you aim with your right stick, you're going to be over adjusting, right? It's everything. So your left stick needs to be able to do whatever it wants, and your right stick adapts to what your left stick does.
Yeah, and since we're and I'm assuming this tip might help as well for moving is because we have aim assist.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's like it's pulling for us. So we want to barely touch our right stick. Our right stick just makes very micro adjustments. And so what my right stick is doing, if my left stick wants to strafe left, it can. It can do whatever it wants. And when my left stick strafes left, my right stick just pulls to the right just slightly. Okay. You're just going to pull it. So you want to get to the point where when your left stick strafes left, your right stick automatically pulls right. Okay. Without you thinking about it, just muscle memory. Does that make sense?
With my left, wait, can you repeat that real quick, just so I can memorize that?
So when you strafe left, your right stick should be going to the right automatically without thinking about it to compensate for the fact that you're strafing left. Because if you...
My right stick is my turn, though.
Yeah, I know. So what I'm saying is, since you're strafing left, okay, see, watch my screen. Can you see my screen? So when I strafe left, my aim goes off, right? See how my aim goes off? Okay. So if I just make a micro adjustment with my right stick, see, now it doesn't go off.
That's why you're talking about making micro adjustments.
Yes, and so when my left stick goes left, my right stick goes right automatically because it needs to, or else I'm gonna miss, right?
Yeah.
So but the left stick is the primary stick when it comes to strafing. Okay, at that range, the left stick is the primary stick, and the right stick plays off what the left stick does. Okay. Think of the right stick as support. It's reacting to what the left stick does. You need to get to the point where the left stick can do whatever it wants and your right stick adapts to it. So that comes with practice, right? So that's why I love practicing this. So how we practice this is just doing this. Can you see what I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
So the first step is to just do this without shooting. And you said you have a brother, right? That you play with? So what you guys can do is you can just make sure you turn on friendly fire so that your aim assist is activated. If you don't turn on friendly fire like this, oops, it's not here, but it's under change legend. When you're actually, when there's multiple people in the firing range, you can turn on friendly fire. Don't shoot, just stand in front of each other and strafe and try to track each other while you're strafing, okay? So
Okay.
strafe left and right and just track each other like this. You don't want to be strafing further than this. Okay? Never strafe further than this. Anything further than this is too far. Okay? And then throw in some short strafes to make it inconsistent. So
Yeah.
you understand what I mean? So I'm standing here like this. The reason my aim isn't moving is because my right stick adapts to what my left stick does without thinking about it because I practice it so much. So that's why my aim is perfect. It's also because I have aim assist. Like the aim assist helps a lot too, right? But like, I think you get the point.
Yeah.
Cool.
Micro adjustments with your right stick. Use your left stick to overall turn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because like, if you're not moving when you're shooting at that range, you're gonna die instantly. You got to be moving. So the left stick is just most important. All right. Moving on. Any questions on that?
One question that might not be that helpful for me. What made you come across this tip?
So I'm an assault rifle player. Okay, so since I love assault rifles, I had to learn how to use assault rifles close range, and so that's like what made me think of this.
Okay.
And it's watching a player named Tolis. That's like a massive. So Tolis is like one of the best players on Xbox, and watching him, I think he does it without thinking about it, maybe. But basically, that I would say he might have been the biggest inspiration to learn this. So yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Cool.
My brother's spamming back there. Alright, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next is going to be submachine guns. Okay, so the R9. First of all, the R9. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, so now we want to work on. So this one, since you're probably curious about this, Nicewig inspired me to learn this one. Okay, because I was playing a game and Nicewig fried me with this technique. So Nicewig is the person who inspired me to learn this one. So what?
Fried you like you play with him?
No. He like I played against him and he fried me. So like I had an assault rifle and he had a submachine gun and he used this technique against me. And so like I decided that I had to like make a drill so I could learn how to do this technique better like he did. And so that's what I did. And so this drill is Nicewig inspired.
Okay.
So what this drill is with a submachine gun, we have not 100%, but we have about 80% strafe speed when we're aiming down sights. We have a ton of strafe speed. So we can strafe very, very quickly at this range and aim down sights. Because this range, it's a little bit too far to hip fire from, as you can see. Like, it's just not very accurate when I hip fire. And so it's very important that we use it. I mean, it's not very important, but like submachine guns are just dominant at this range because we can aim down sights and hit all our shots while like moving full speed. And so like that story I was telling you, like Nicewig had a Volt, I had an R301, so I was aiming down sights and he fried me because like I couldn't move because I had an assault rifle, so like I wasn't moving very fast. He had a Volt and he just outstrafed me. That was in like season 7 I think or something, maybe season 8. And so
That's cool you play with him.
I didn't play with him, I played against him, but yeah. But yeah, it was cool playing against him for sure. But yeah, so what's the point? I don't know. Oh, the point is that you have to practice that. So practice, first off, I'm just grabbing ammo, but practice like your aim. Can you see my screen? So without shooting at first, it's the exact same thing, the exact same concept as a hip fire, but now with aiming down sights on a submachine gun. Okay, so just strafing left and right and hitting your shots while you aim down sights. And then once you feel comfortable with that, you can do it with shooting. It's obviously a lot better to do it while you're shooting, but if you're just learning still, it's probably better to not shoot at first, just so you can see exactly what errors you're making mechanically. So, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. So yeah, that's that. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Next is going back to assault rifles. So assault rifles, we want to play very cover to cover like this, like play tight to cover. Try not to get caught out in the open on an assault rifle because at this range we don't have any strafe speed. All right, so we want to try to avoid getting caught out in the open. It's not the end of the world if we do, but just understand, like, a submachine gun, we have way more of a bailout because we can sort of outstrafe our opponent potentially, whereas the AR, we just can't. We don't really have that bailout. So we need to play cover to cover. If we do get caught out in the open, because you will get caught out in the open with an AR, you just have to make sure you get first shot off because you don't have movement speed to rely on. So it's okay, but you just have to make sure you get first shot off if you're out in the open.
Yeah, with the R301, isn't no first shot off. It's like the first 3 shots.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's super, super important because you just don't have that strafe speed. And then, like, but a way that we can compensate being caught out in the open, compensate for it, is a hip fire transfer. So that's where I start off aiming down sights like this, and then I transfer into a hip fire. See, and then my bullets still go straight. The reason for that is...
Can you see that? Can I see that again?
Yeah. So the reason for that is... it combines the accuracy of the ADS with the speed of the hip fire. See, so now I strafe while I'm shooting like that. Oops. So I strafe while I'm shooting, and then, like, I can go from hip fire, or I can go like ADS, hip fire, ADS, kind of like that. This is a Golden Boy inspired drill. If you're curious who inspired me to make this drill, so yeah, so it's like this. So I was watching Golden Boy Forever Shredded play in World's Edge, and he was using that on the flatline, so I decided that I had to learn that and, like, sort of master it. So yeah, that's a hip fire transfer. It's super, super important to master. If you want to make it harder on yourself, you can use a more zoomed in sight like this. It's so hard with a zoomed in sight. It took me like probably 18 months, like a year and a half to master this with the zoomed in sight, because it's super, super difficult. So yeah, that is the hip fire transfer. But, like, if you're just using an iron sight, it's a lot easier, but it's still very, very difficult. So, like, usually, and then, like, you don't have to ADS again after, but you can definitely ADS again after. It's just super important. So just once again, the main point of a hip fire transfer is to combine the speed of the hip fire with the accuracy of the ADS. It's combining both. So.
Okay.
And this is by far the best on the R301. It works on the flatline, but the flatline doesn't go as straight at long range. The other thing that you want to be practicing is hip fire on, like, different guns, kind of. So, like, the flatline is probably the other assault rifle that you want to be using, because you're not always going to be able to find an R301, so it's important to also be good with the flatline. So you sort of want to practice these things with the R301 and the flatline. So yeah. Yeah. Any questions on that?
One question. So I know you. Wait. Oh, I don't have any questions actually.
Okay, and then one more thing is practice so for assault rifles, the R301 and the flatline are the best. And then for submachine guns, the R9, CAR, and Volt are the best. But the CAR, like, I know you said that the R9 is your favorite gun, but the Volt and the CAR are definitely a lot better, especially if you get good with them. So, yeah.
Where is the CAR? Let me see. The CAR is that SMG that can use both blue ammo and orange ammo.
Yeah, that is true. So the CAR is very hard to use, so that might be why it's not your favorite gun.
This thing shoots fast.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's basically the exact same as the R9, but it does 2 more damage per bullet. So it does 13 damage per bullet, and so it kills way. It's not that it even kills faster because the R9's fire rate is even higher, but it does more damage per mag. So your chances of one clipping someone with the CAR are way higher because it does way more damage per mag. But you just want to use this gun kind of like a shotgun. Like, you just want to use it super close range because it sucks, like, medium range.
So medium range, do these guns do less damage farther away?
No.
So I just thought about playing Apex for, like, I've been playing Apex for a couple weeks, and that's what inspired me to get this, because I'm not doing the best, because I used to play it a lot, but I'm playing people from the lobbies I used to play. So yeah. I need to just get. Yeah. So when I shoot from the farther away you shoot with the gun, does it do less damage?
No, it does the same damage. Unless you're shooting really far away with the charge rifle, for example, it does less damage from really far away. But no, it does the same amount of damage. It's just that you can't control it really far away, right? Like,
Yeah, me testing this out while walking backwards. Yeah, I can definitely see. It's a you have to be trying to do less damage to do less damage with this.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So, yeah, it does 13 damage per bullet no matter what range. It's just really, really hard to use long range. So, yeah. All right. But yeah, that's the car. One last tip on the car is, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So watch my recoil control when I stand still. See, it's a little bit sloppy. Now watch when I strafe. You'll see. So when I strafe with the car, it negates the horizontal recoil significantly. So you want to make sure that you're strafing on the car, because it's going to negate the horizontal recoil tremendously. So, yeah.
So cool.
All right. And then the Volt. The Volt is very similar to the R9, but it's even easier to control than the R9. It's also a submachine gun. Sorry?
The Volt is one of my favorite guns as well.
Nice. Awesome. So, yeah. It's like the R9, but it's just a little bit better at range. It also does more damage per bullet. It doesn't kill quite as fast as the R9, but it does do more damage per mag, so your chances of one clipping are way higher. And
The damage in the car?
I'm not too sure. The thing is, the car. So, like, okay, here's a very underrated stat. Okay, is damage per mag. Okay, so the car does 13 per bullet. I'm gonna quickly do the math. 13 per bullet. So 13 times 27. Just assuming we have a gold mag, but we're not always gonna have a gold mag. I'm just assuming for this example. So the car does 351 damage per mag. 351 damage per mag if you don't hit headshots, okay? 351. So that means it's very easy to one clip with. Now the R9 does 11 bullets times 27 with a gold mag, so it only does 297. So that means that it does like 54 less, and so it's way harder to one clip with. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry, I was talking about the Volt compared to the car.
I know. I'm just going to move on to the Volt now. I'm just trying to give you a comparison between all three because it's pretty important to know all three. So the
R99 with the R99 with the car is the car does more damage per clip.
Yeah.
But has less ammo capacity, like you said.
It has the same ammo capacity. It has.
Has fire rate. My bad.
Yeah, it has a slightly slower fire rate. The car has a slightly slower fire rate. So it doesn't kill quite as fast, actually. But the fact that the R9 kills slightly faster, the amount that it kills faster is completely irrelevant because, like, it's so small that it's not relevant. And the other reason it's not relevant is because, it's like I'd much rather be able to one clip someone. So like the theory is let's say I can hit someone for 190 faster with my R9, but not one clip him. It doesn't make sense because then I have to wait for my weapon to switch. Right? I'd much rather just one clip someone with the car. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Now let me answer your question on the Volt. Okay, so the Volt does 15 per bullet and it has a 26 bullet mag with a gold mag. So 15 times 26 would be 390. So the Volt has the highest damage per mag. It's also by far the easiest to control. So it doesn't kill as fast. That's sort of the downside, is it doesn't kill as fast, but it does have the highest damage per mag. And so your chances of one clipping someone are actually really, really high on the Volt. It's also the easiest to use. So that's kind of why the Volt is overall the best. But the only downside of the Volt is like holding ammo for it, inventory management. It can be kind of hard to manage your inventory, and it can also sometimes be hard to find energy ammo. So that's partly why I prefer the Volt or the car. I personally prefer the car, but I'm like the only person who prefers the car. Most people prefer the Volt because overall it's a lot better. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Cool. I just prefer the car because it does kill faster. And like the way that I use it, it just suits my playstyle better. And one other point, is inventory management. That's why I prefer the car. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the car also can be better for for the. Oh, sorry, my ammo, my bad. Like if you can't find heavy ammo, you have light ammo.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can't find a heavy mag, you can put on a light mag. So that's why I prefer the car. Is it's just so convenient for that reason. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, the Volt is just not super convenient, like inventory wise. So, and then the other reason is like, so I use the car kind of like a shotgun. Like I just use it super close range because I use my R301 for like 90% of things. Like I barely use my secondary anyways. Wow, that was horrendous. I barely use my secondary anyways. And so like I'm basically only using my car at this range usually anyway. So like I just prefer the faster time to kill because that's sort of my priority for my playstyle. But my playstyle is maybe arguably a little bit unique, but not really. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions on that stuff?
Yes, there is a couple questions that may seem a bit trivial. So for the car, if you have a mag for if you have a mag for like light ammo mag, will that mag still have the capacity for the heavy rounds as well?
Yeah, they're the exact same. Like a gold light mag is the same as a gold heavy mag for the car. The white one is the same as the white one. They're all the same.
Okay, and as well as for the vault. So if you're using so how come the sorry for the car? Can you use can you use certain scopes that work with the heavier ones that don't work for say R99 since they have light ammo?
When it comes to scopes, so scopes, sorry.
Yeah, like it's more compatible with other scopes than other guns.
Yeah. So you can use on the car, these are the sights you can use. You can use the 1X, the 2X, sorry, like the 1X Classic, right? You can run the Bruiser, the Hollow, the variable Hollow, or the Digital Threat, okay?
Okay.
But please don't use the 2X on the car, and don't use the 1 to 2. It just doesn't, or sorry, on submachine guns, don't use the 2 or the 1 to 2. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't like. I especially don't like the 2X HCOG bruiser with the open side with the top where it's not a circle because it's too zoomed in for me.
Oh really? Yeah, you're gonna like it on assault rifles if you master the recoil on it. It's really good on assault rifles, but for submachine guns, definitely don't use it. But like, you just have to get really good at the recoil control on the Bruiser. The 2X HCOG, you got to get really good at the recoil with it. And then the way that you, like I said earlier, the way that you get good at the recoil is by using even more zoomed in sights. So if you run a 3X, if you practice with a 3X and then switch to the Bruiser, you're going to feel like you don't have recoil because the recoil is more significant on the Ranger. So does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. That answers my questions.
Awesome.
What are we going to work on next?
Let's just quickly talk about the Prowler. So the Prowler is also a very good gun. The Prowler is a very good gun, but it's not as good as the other submachine guns because it's just not as consistent. But if you can hit your shots with it, it is a very good gun. You just have to make sure that you take your time with it. So my biggest tip with the Prowler is, first of all, obviously practice the recoil, but also take your time with each burst individually, right? So don't use it like it's full auto. Just take your time with each burst individually and hitting each burst individually. Even if it,
don't just spam it.
I mean, like, you definitely want to spam it as much as you can, but sometimes you might have to slow down if you find that you're not locked on. So if you're not locked on, you can don't be afraid to slow things down. So don't shoot if you're not still locked on, basically, is the point. Which might seem very obvious, but that's an issue that I see everyone run into, including myself with the Prowler, is trying to continue to shoot when we're not locked on. Because it's...
Those are the 3 shots, right?
It's actually 5 shots, which is kind of unique. So it's a 5-round burst. That's why it's so difficult to use. That's why it's so awkward for people, is because no one's used to a 5-round burst. It's very awkward. So... yeah, just take your time with it. It's definitely not the best gun because it's so hard to be consistent with. But if you are using it, please just take your time. So that's the Prowler. Any questions on that?
I think that about covers it.
All right, nice. Next, let's grab a wingman. If you just want to watch my screen, I'll just give you a couple quick tips.
Okay.
So the wingman is also a left stick aim gun. Okay, so we want to left stick aim a lot with the wingman. And so, as you can see, like I'm not really touching my right stick. Also, the wingman, it's a pistol, so we have full strafe speed with it. So we can aim down sights and strafe full speed with it. What makes the wingman so strong is, let's say I'm fighting a guy this range. First of all, that's not too far for a submachine gun, but it's far enough that it's a little bit awkward for this guy to use a submachine gun at that range. Especially if I'm strafing this fast, he's not really going to fry me. Also, let's say he has an assault rifle. He can't hip fire from that range, so he's going to be basically standing still with his assault rifle, and I'm moving full speed. That's why the wingman is so strong, is because you can strafe so fast from so far away. Plus, we have aim assist that's going to pull us. So, like, that's the wingman. Now, like, how I aim the wingman is I just make sure my crosshair placement is good. So just pay attention to my crosshair placement. Like, if I slide on this guy, see my crosshair placement's perfect. It's like right on his upper chest level. My recoil is going to hit his head. I'm not too worried about headshots. They're going to come naturally without even trying. I don't really want to go for only headshots because it's not really efficient. Because it's really easy to miss that way. What I do is I just aim upper chest, and then usually I end up hitting the head. So as you can see, like with my aim, I'm basically not touching my right stick at all. I'm just my right stick gets me in the right position, and then it's mostly left stick from there. And then like I wait for the aim assist to kind of pull me. I want the aim assist to sort of compensate for my strafe for me almost. It really helps me to abuse my strafe kind of. And then one last tip is, let's see. So if I'm strafing, so you want to sort of align your strafe sometimes, or like oftentimes you want to align your strafe with your fire rate. So what I mean by that is, this is just like to give you an idea, to get you thinking in the direction that I think kind of, is when I shoot one bullet with the wingman, I shoot a shot. Let's say the fire rate is 1 second, so it shoots every second. Okay, so I shoot a shot, strafe to the left for half a second, strafe to the right for half a second, and then I end up in the same spot that I started. And so if I, in theory, like if I'm playing against someone who's not really moving too much, because they're shooting me with an AR, so long as I end up in the exact same spot, I don't really need to touch my right stick. So like if I strafe for half a second to the left and half a second to the right, then I'm not really touching my right stick at all because I still end up in the same spot. But obviously that's only for like playing against assault rifle players. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But like even if you're playing against someone who is moving, if they're strafing, you can just wait for your aim assist to pull you and then shoot. Like sometimes you don't want to always be spamming the wingman. Sometimes you just want to wait for that aim assist to pull you. Like you want to be abusing your strafe and waiting. Sometimes you have to be patient. Like don't always shoot. Don't always spam it. Usually you want to spam it, but don't always. Any questions on that?
Not really, but I did have another question that I just remembered. I wanted to ask you about my about energy weapons in general. So I've looked at, I don't exactly remember which gun, but the other day I was aiming with an energy gun and it showed the percentage on it. It said 83%. What does that mean?
That's definitely the L star. I don't really use the L star, so I don't really know. Where does it say 83%?
So if you aim in,
yeah,
you don't see it. See, I can't see it in this, but I've seen it in real games before. I wonder, do you think it's something like it'll break or something once it hits that point?
Yeah. That's probably like, can you see my screen? You see the meter that's overheating kind of on my screen? See, it's like a meter. Yeah, it's probably that. Like it's gonna overheat. So like if it overheats, it's not a big deal. You just have to reload it. See, so like that's what it looks like if it overheats. It just does that. See, so like let me overheat it again. See, it looks like that when it overheats.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you just have to wait for it. So it's definitely best if you don't
Sorry, I found it. It's the devotion. The devotion does that thing.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
You aim with devotion. I shot it. I was using it a bunch, and I made it, and I changed down the percentage on the right. See it?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm not sure. I honestly wouldn't worry about it though. I think it means like nothing really that's relevant.
Okay.
What do you mean the percentage?
You see
Yeah.
under where it says full, where's the
Yeah.
percent?
I've never seen the percentage. Oh, maybe it means like how much extra ammo you have. No, that's not what it means. I think it means nothing really. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It could be just for special effects, like the groove in front of it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, moving on. But yeah, so the devotion, like, it's not bad close range, but it's super hard to use medium and long range. So I usually stay away from it. It's also like super ammo dependent. It's hard to find ammo for it, and it's hard to find attachments for it. So like that's why I'm not a huge fan of it.
The devotion?
Yeah, because like you have to hold a bunch of ammo for it. It's the same thing as the Volt. You just have to hold a bunch of ammo for it. It's not too bad as the secondary on controller, but usually it's just not really my first choice.
Yeah.
Or
But I will say this thing, if you actually have a good if you have a good barrel and you have enough ammo, this thing can be pretty deadly because of the how fast it shoots. And if you have a faster thing, then you can kill so fast. It has
yeah,
an extremely fast fire rate.
no, you're right for sure. It's a really good gun. It's just like sort of hard to manage. Like it's not very easy to manage when it comes to like inventory management and
Yeah, it can kill
attachments. But you're right. Like if you have max attachments on it, it's very good. The only downside is it's your ability to use it at range. Basically, no controller player can use that gun at range because it's just impossible. The Devotion and the Havoc on controller. So yeah,
Yeah.
on mouse and keyboard you can kind of like aim it, like jitter aim it. So it's definitely possible on mouse and keyboard. I mean a little, like if you're super talented. All right, moving on to shot. Any other questions on any of those topics?
No,
Cool.
I'm ready to move on to shotgun.
All right, so shotguns. Let's grab a Peacekeeper, please. Peacekeeper. So I'm just gonna show you with a purple bolt. So that's obviously the best attachment for it. Yeah, I'll show you with a purple bolt. So the first thing that we want to understand is the time to kill. You can just watch my screen for this,
Purple
please.
bolt.
Sorry.
Oh, purple bolt action.
Yeah, right there. All right, so can you see my screen?
Yes.
So the first thing we want to understand with the Peacekeeper is the time to kill. So it doesn't actually, like, I mean, it kills pretty fast, but just watch without headshots. You'll see that's how fast it kills. Okay, now watch the assault rifle. You'll see it's a lot slower or a lot faster. See, so full autos are a lot faster to kill than shotguns, and so that's why like if I'm out in the open like this, I actually prefer to have a full auto like an assault rifle over a Peacekeeper because watch now the Peacekeeper it's just a little bit slower. It's kind of like that, right? It just takes an extra second.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean the Peacekeeper is bad, but what it means is we need to use it strategically. So cover to cover like this. See, because if that guy has an R301, he's going to hit me for like 30 every time. Or like anything full auto, he's not really going to hit me. He's not going to like damage me very much if I peek him like this, right? Does that make sense? Because like you see how I'm hitting him for so much, but he only has like half a second to shoot me, right? And in half a second, you just can't do as much damage with a full auto. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, so that's how you want to use a Peacekeeper is cover to cover, and you want to use it strategically so that you can, so that you're behind cover in between shots. That's what you want to be doing. Okay, make sure that you're behind cover in between shots.
Peek. I peek. Just peek every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then like you can implement wall bounces and like movement as you get better, like so like wall bounce between shots and that sort of thing. The other thing with the Peacekeeper is bubble fighting. So like if we're fighting in bubbles, the Peacekeeper is like by far the best gun aside from the Mastiff. The Peacekeeper is like by far the best gun for bubble fighting. So yeah. And then one last technique for the Peacekeeper is this one right here. So if like I said, like if I'm out in the open, I don't really want to use the Peacekeeper like this. It just doesn't really kill that fast. I mean, like it does. It's not that bad, but it's just not like on console. You're gonna get fried by people using full auto guns, so you want to be careful with that. So a way a lot of people use the Peacekeeper in combination with a full auto is like this. So you slide out, boom, one shot with the PK, and then switch to your full auto like that. And that's like super fast because it's we're hitting a big PK pump. It doesn't have to be that big, but it just guarantees that we're gonna like instantly one clip the person that we're fighting against because Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have the choke for the peacekeeper, then you can just switch it back and then go back to it and overload.
Um, no, it actually won't.
Oh, that's only for the gold mag. For other things.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. The kinetic feeder does reload it if you slide. So if you have a kinetic feeder and you slide, that does reload the peacekeeper. But it's like sort of almost inconsistent, and like I don't really recommend sliding with your gun out anyways. Like no one really slides with their gun out. Most people like holster their gun and then slide jump. So it's pretty hard to like actually execute the kinetic feeder reload. I mean, like it's not that hard, but like it's pretty awkward to do. So I don't really
Oh,
rely on it.
would you say it's bad to slide and then shoot?
I don't know. It's pretty situational, but yeah, usually it is. Because the thing is like if you're sliding, usually there's no reason to slide with your gun out because you're going to be sliding so slow. Usually when people slide jump, it's with their gun holstered. And you want to get good at holstering and unholstering your gun so that you can holster your gun in the middle of a fight if you have to.
Okay. But I just want to make sure because not to be hypocritical or saying that's not what I should I'm doing that, but I actually end up I slide while I shoot and sometimes jump around and move a lot.
Yeah, yeah, that's okay sometimes.
Another thing that I noticed is if you shoot the peacekeeper enough, it'll start being like reloading +1.
Yeah, that's the kinetic feeder. That's what I was talking about. It's just that like the issue is like sliding, like it's like relying on that in the middle of a fight. It's sort of like as you can see, sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. You see what I mean? Like sometimes it reloads it, but sometimes it doesn't. And so
Yeah.
like if I'm going to slide with my gun out in the middle of a fight to make it reload, I need it to work every time consistently, in a way that I can predict. It's sort of unpredictable the way it works, and so I would not rely on it. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I need it to be consistent, or else I'm just not going to do it. Like I can't dedicate a full second of a fight to that and it not work. It's going to get me killed. So yeah. That's why I don't see like a single pro player relying on the kinetic feeder reload. I see some of them abusing it, but I think it's more so like in the flow of the moment. Like it's not that they're living and dying by the kinetic feeder. It's just that it either helps or it doesn't. Like it's not really like they're living and dying by it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're not like fully relying on it. So yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, so that's the Peacekeeper. Now I'll quickly go over the EVA. Do you have any more Peacekeeper questions?
No, not really.
All right.
Oh wait, yes, I do have one.
Yeah.
So the choke. What does that exactly do? And like, just can you fill me in on the choke stats?
Yeah. So just watch my screen for this, please. So what the choke does is it's this. So like when we're close range, see, so we can hit left on the D-pad and it's going to disable the choke if we want to. And then it just doesn't happen, right? It doesn't choke at all. And like, as you can see, it still does the same amount of damage close range with or without a choke, right? Like, so at this range, we don't need a choke at all. So never, ever, ever think about the choke. Never rely on it. Never think about it at all at this range, please. Just completely ignore the choke from this range.
But you don't want to hold it to do more damage.
Yeah, it doesn't do more damage at this range. What it does is it tightens the pellet spray. So do you understand the way that a shotgun shell works? That it has multiple pellets inside of it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'll just very quickly explain. So, like, the choke is like, watch this. Without a choke, watch. See, 83, 92, because that's not very far away. But let's say I'm fighting at this range. Now watch, without a choke. See, 27, 18, right? It's pretty garbage without a choke. Now watch with a choke. It tightens the spray of the pellets. So it makes it like one shot, see? So 94.
So you can have, so it's like a sniper shotgun.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sniper. It's like a triple take. Like the triple take has the same thing. So watch right here. See, I can still hit for 63, right? Whereas if I don't choke it, it's going to hit for 9 from there. So like, yeah, do you understand?
Yeah.
Cool. That's what the choke does. Don't force it close range though, because what's going to happen, so this is how we want to use the Peacekeeper close range. Watch how I aim down sights last second. Okay, once I'm already like focused in on the target, that's when I aim down sights. Because the problem is, like, if I force a choke from here, if I specifically try to choke it and hit my shot, I can't make big adjustments while I'm aiming down sights because I'm on controller. So it's going to take forever, right? So it's going to look like that, and that's way too slow, right? Like if I try to force a choke. So what I want to do instead is hip fire it like this, and then like aim down sights last second, like this. So let's say I'm off and I want to flick over to this guy, I just go like that, right? Don't worry about the choke at that range. It's completely, it's irrelevant.
Oh, okay, I'm glad you set me straight on that.
At that range, yeah. Another just quick note, sort of a fun fact, is the choke in Season 3 was an attachment, okay? Like the kinetic feeder. It was an attachment for the Peacekeeper. It didn't like come automatically attached. And 90% of pro players did not pick it up, okay? 90% of pro players in Season 3 preferred the Peacekeeper without the choke. So, just a fun fact. The reason they prefer...
Why wouldn't you have the choke?
The reason they prefer... Well, so like if I'm close range like this and my gun is choked, the bullet spread... So first of all, it's useless at this range, right? Like I can still do equally as much damage at this range without it. And so the reason they didn't want it is because it tightens the spray. See, so my spray is tightened right now. And so you have to be more precise if you have the choke on. That's why.
Oh.
And so that's why in Season 3 they preferred it. Now in whatever season we're in, Season 14, I'm pretty sure mostly everyone prefers the choke, but some pro players still turn the choke off because they just prefer to have it off. So, yeah.
Okay.
Because it depends on the style, the way that you use the Peacekeeper. The reason it's so nice is because I can do things like this from this range. See, like that guy's got no counter to that. So like if you can do things like this, you see what I'm doing right now?
Yeah.
That guy has no way to counter that. I mean, like he does, but like you get the point. Like I can hit a shot, like a quick 99 from this far away. That's why most people use the choke now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Without the choke, you've got no hope of doing that. But it depends on playstyle. So, like, some people, like, the way that I use my shotgun, I don't use the choke a ton. Actually, I do. But, like, I don't know. It depends on playstyle. Like, some people just don't need the choke. So, yeah. Oh, I forgot to talk about the EVA. Quickly talk about the EVA.
Mm-hmm.
Does that...
So...
Yeah.
You're on Xbox, right?
I used to play Xbox, but I'm currently on PC right now. Yeah.
Okay.
But I play controller on PC. Like, I don't play mouse and keyboard because, yeah.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, I used to play Xbox.
Do you think you're gonna help me with wall jumping and stuff, like what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna be moving so fast.
Yeah. I'll just quickly go over the EVA really quickly. So the EVA kills a little faster than the Peacekeeper, as you can see. So let me show you, please. Just watch this. See, so it kills a lot faster, right? It kills really, really fast. It's also full auto, like this. See, it's full auto. But we want to use it single fire, okay? Like that. The reason we want to use it single fire, just like one shot at a time, just tap your trigger, is because full auto, it's a lot harder to hit your shots on. It's very inconsistent full auto, so you want to just take your time, use it single fire like that. Because it's so much easier to aim. The full auto, it's very hard to aim full auto. The other thing with the EVA is if you have a stock on your EVA like this, you want to make sure to switch it over to your assault rifle because it's way more useful on the assault rifle. It's basically useless on the EVA. It's way more useful on the assault rifle. And then...
The what's it called?
The stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing with submachine guns. The stock is not useless on submachine guns, but it's close to useless. Like, it's not very useful, but it's very...
They're already pretty fast reload.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very, very, very useful on assault rifles. So you want to make sure to switch your stock off your submachine gun to your assault rifle. Also, like, let's say you're playing with your brother and he doesn't have a stock on his assault rifle and you have one on your submachine gun and your assault rifle. You want to give him the one off your submachine gun. So, yeah. Usually. It's not that big of a deal, but like you want to make sure that your teammates always have stocks on their assault rifles if you have one on your submachine gun or your shotgun, because it's just not that relevant on those weapon classes. Now,
there's one thing I have to say that you might not like and you might not play like.
Yeah.
So I am a player who doesn't use ARs. I don't use ARs. Like if I see an alternator and R99, I'm immediately changing that for any Spitfire, Devotion, or any AR at all. So like if I'm fighting in the middle of a fight, I use my SMG and I reload my SMG in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
that case, when I want to keep my stock,
Um, like if you don't use ARs?
like yeah, I don't use ARs.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you definitely want to use ARs. Like, there's really no downside with the strafe technique that I showed you. Like, with the hipfire technique that I showed you, there's really no downside to using ARs. So you want to use, like, one AR with a submachine gun. But, like, if you don't have an AR, then, yeah, obviously run a stock. Because stocks will make your submachine guns better. But, like, you don't want to reload out in the open either. Like, you want to switch weapons But you can reload if you can do it without getting shot. But, like, don't reload out in the open, please. You want to switch weapons.
Oh, okay. I'm really happy you said that because normally in the middle of a fight, I'll be shooting someone and reload while they're still shooting me.
Yeah,
Of course, I'll try to hide a bit, but
yeah,
yeah.
don't do that. You want to, like, see, like, it's way faster to switch weapons like I just did. So just watch. So, like, if I want to switch weapons, I know I don't have to reload, but, like, see, it's so fast to switch weapons. Just switch weapons, and then it's faster. So, yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Let's see. The EVA. Do you have anything else to say before I go on about the EVA?
No, but I thought we hadn't already started talking about the EVA.
Yeah. You started talking about something. So I'll finish with the EVA. So now double tap. I just want to quickly talk about double tap. It's this attachment right here. Don't use it because it doesn't kill as fast as single fire, and it's also a lot harder to use. So definitely don't use double tap. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't kill as fast, and it's harder to use. Like, it's harder to hit your shots. And so no one really uses double tap on the EVA.
Okay, so this is why I got this lesson because I did not know that. I always try to get that, and I'm sad if I don't have it, and that's almost a deal breaker for other shotguns.
Yeah, the double tap, it sucks pretty bad. You can use it if you want, like if it really suits your playstyle for some reason. It's not that bad, but the single fire is definitely better. Like, it kills faster and it's easier to use, so it just doesn't really make sense to have a double tap. Alright, if you want to come up here, please.
Okay.
We will talk about some movement stuff. Alright, I'm recording, so, like, you've got a video of this, so I'm just going to run through it really, really fast. You don't have to get each technique immediately. So first thing is going to be a ledge slide, okay? So a ledge slide like this. So all we do for this is we climb, we hold forward on the left stick, and we slide. That's it. Just climb. So we don't need any momentum to go into this. No momentum required. We climb, hold forward on the left stick, and slide. That's it.
Wait, so just climb and hold forward and left it.
And then slide when you're on top.
Okay.
And then you can instantly slide. So, yeah, that's that. All right, next is going to be a 90-degree slide. So it's like this. So you climb, turn 90 degrees, and slide. Turn.
Can I see it?
Yeah. So you climb, turn 90 degrees, slide. You turn with your right stick. All the turning is with your right stick. You hold your left stick forward, and that's it.
So let me practice that. So climb, turn right, and slide.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it down. How do you?
It's timing. So you need to master the straightforward one first. You need to master this one first. Just going straight forward. You need to master it. And then you can do the 90-degree one once you've mastered that. So that's going to take time. It's going to take you a lot of time, probably. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it won't. But
I think it'll take me like a couple weeks or days.
Well, you have to master the straightforward one. I think it's going to take you probably 3 minutes to master the straightforward one, and then it'll probably take you 3 more minutes to get the sideways one, the 90-degree one. And then it'll take you like a week to master the sideways one. You just got to master the timing. And like this is something, you don't need to practice this in the range. You just practice it when you're moving around the map. Like, it's pretty easy to practice. So, yeah.
What's the 90? What's the 360 one? What did you say?
The 90-degree one. What's your question?
Yeah. I just want to see that again.
Oh yeah, you just turn. Oh, so you climb, hold forward on the left stick, turn and slide. It's the exact same.
Oh.
It's the exact same. You're just turning. It's the exact same.
Yeah, is this a glitch or something? Like, should I be sad? Do you think they'll take it away soon or something?
No, it's in the game on purpose.
Oh.
Yeah, they add things like this to the game and like wall bouncing to increase the skill ceiling and to make it a better game. Like that's what originally got me interested in this game, is the fact that there is a skill ceiling to it. All right, next is going to be like a very, very high skill ceiling to this game. So yeah, next is going to be a ledge jump. So a normal jump, I go half the length of this object. Oh, let me quickly show you where I'd use the slide. So you can also use the slide on shorter objects like this. So let's say I hit someone for 100 right here. So I hit someone for 100. I would use it to instantly accelerate. So once again, like if I hit someone for 100, boom, 100, use it to accelerate instantly. That's what I use it for. So yeah. All right, next it's going to be a jump. So for a jump, we go half the length of this thing like this. Okay. For a ledge jump, we go the full length. So if we climb and jump, we go the full length. So it's a ledge jump. It's the exact same thing as a ledge slide, but with a jump rather than a slide. So yeah, you're gonna really like this one.
So you can just move faster instead of having to climb it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, it's more so the jump that you get out of it. Because if you can jump over someone's head, you can experiment with this with your brother or whatever. Like when you're fighting your brother or like when you're fighting someone. You can experiment with this. So like you just jump over someone's head and then you fry them. It's really, really nice because it's really hard for that person to shoot you. It's really hard for that person to shoot you. And it's very easy for you to shoot them. So your goal is to jump over their head kind of usually. So it's really, really nice if you can jump over people's heads. Next is going to be a 90-degree ledge jump. So it's the exact same thing as the 90-degree slide, but with a jump. You just climb, turn 90 degrees, and then jump. Knowing how to do it 90 degrees is going to give you a lot more versatility because you can go in multiple directions, like whatever direction you want to go in. So, yeah. All right, that's that. Moving on to the next one. I'm just trying to get this done pretty fast because I've got to get going soon. But you'll have the recording, so you can like refer to the recording if you have any questions.
Well, our lesson's almost over in like 10 minutes, huh?
Yeah, yeah. But I'll just get it done really, really quickly. I just want to give you all the information. So next is going to be a wall bounce. So for a wall bounce, we just start right here, okay?
Okay.
We start here. Now pay attention to where I slide from, please, because this is very precise, very precise. So we slide, jump in, okay? So we pay attention to where I slide from. Okay, so I'm going to slide from here. Okay, let me turn my texture streaming budget up so you can see my textures better. I'll turn it up to max so that, or like insane, so you can see exactly what I'm seeing really well. So see like this line right here, kind of, not exactly the line, just pay attention exactly where I start my slide anyway. It's like right there, right? Like sort of like right here, right before this line right here. I start my slide like right here. So the distance that you start your slide from is very important. It's very, very important. So you know,
what does it allow you to do differently?
It's like if you start it too close, it's just not going to work. I mean, like it'll work if you're really good at it, but right now you're just learning. Okay, you're just learning, so you need to learn it like perfectly optimized, like under optimal conditions, so that you can you know, you want to learn it under optimal conditions so that you can do it under not optimal, like so that you can learn the fundamentals. You just want to learn the fundamentals first before you start to break the fundamentals, because like I can do it from here too, like I can do it from any length, but that's because I've been doing this for 2.5 years. So yeah.
Well, you're playing way longer than me. I played this game for like a couple months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, pay attention where I slide from. Next is going to be pay attention to where I jump from, okay? So I'm going to slide from there, jump from there. So like maybe like right around here. Not exactly though, it's up to perception. Like, I don't know, like right around here kind of. like that line, like just past that line almost. So I go slide, jump, boom. And then, so I slide, jump, and then jump. So.
That's what I've been practicing. I can do this, jump, and then jump backwards. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So you can do the wall bounce?
Yeah, I can do it. Just slide, jump, and jump off. Yeah, and then I can slide, and I slide backwards all the way back to this, to the little first time where you see the cage.
Perfect. Awesome.
No, to pass that to the left, just to the here. If you look at the thing, to the left, if you turn around and look at the thing to the left of that bar, is where I can get to that cage bit.
Yeah.
No, on the other side.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can get to the cage bit.
Nice. That's awesome. All right. So yeah, so that's that. All right, next, I'm just going to quickly run you through these. You're not going to get them today. I just want to give them to you. So if you were standing here, let's say I'm fighting someone who's right here on my red ping, and I want to bounce peek them. I can go up here like this. Oops, I messed up. But I can go like this, and I can bounce peek. So boom, like that. The way that you bounce peek...
Let me see that. Let me see that again. That's awesome.
Yeah, so the way that you bounce peek is you go like this. So you go slide, jump. You wall bounce, but when you wall bounce, you hold forward on your left stick, okay? So you hold forward when you wall bounce, and that's how you stay like that. So, yeah, that's about it.
Well, I don't know how to do it as well yet. I'm going to take the time to learn.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's going to take you, like, weeks to learn that. It's not easy.
There it goes.
All right, nice. Awesome.
I'm getting better by just trying a couple times.
Awesome. All right, next is going to be a bounce off a shorter object. So if you come over here to right here, and then just watch my screen for this. So a bounce off a shorter object, if you don't hold back on your left stick, you're going to do this. You're going to attach, okay? So what you want to do is you want to slide, jump in, and then hold back on your left stick last second for a bounce off a shorter object. So slide, jump.
I don't know how to latch on. I don't even know how to latch. I don't even know you can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. You just let go of your left stick and then don't jump. But anyway, for this one, but that's a pretty useless mechanic overall. But for this one, you just slide, jump in, and then hold back on your left stick before you bounce. Because if you hold back, then you'll jump off of it. So that's that. All right. Next is gonna. Yep.
I don't know how. I'm not getting it. So I just don't think I'm holding back, but I'm not moving. I have to jump, hit A, jump, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So it's just a normal, it's a normal wall bounce, but you hold back on the left stick. It's going to take practice, but I'm going to move on to the next one because I want to just run through this nice and quick. You can just watch the video back. All you do is hold back on the left stick. That's it. It's pretty easy. But the timing is difficult. Like, you need to work on it. So you slide, jump, and then hold back on the left stick, and then jump again. So you need to hold back on the left stick 1 millisecond before you make contact with the wall. And that's it. Yeah, it's pretty easy. All right, next is going to be a bounce at an angle. So for a bounce at an angle, we just turn our camera into the wall. Because if I don't turn my camera into the wall like this, I'm just going to slide off of it. So to bounce at an angle, I just turn my camera into the wall last second like that. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Next is going to be let's see. Next, it's going to be an infinite wall bounce, okay? So it's like this. So where I can just keep bouncing up like that and peeking. That's an infinite wall bounce. It's super valuable to know.
I see that again?
Yeah.
Infinite wall bounce.
Yeah. So the way we do an infinite wall bounce is first thing you need to understand is what is jump fatigue. So jump fatigue is your second jump. So your second jump is always going to be fatigued. So it's not going to be as high as your first jump, okay? Your first jump is always higher than your second, your third, and your fourth jump, okay? So what jump fatigue looks like is like if I jump like this at the wall, see, I have jump fatigue. Since I already hit a slide jump, I can't do another. So I go like slide jump, and then my second jump is going to be fatigued like that. And so like jump fatigue is going to guarantee that you're going to hit these, because sometimes if we have full momentum, see, like I can go jump fatigue into a fatigue bounce, kind of. I messed it up, but like without a slide. But let me explain like the main point. So if I run at this wall and I try to wall bounce without sliding, you'll see it just doesn't work no matter what. I can't possibly wall bounce if I don't slide. And so I have to slide in order to wall bounce when I have full momentum. But if I don't have momentum or if I have jump fatigue, then I can do a fatigue bounce like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you have to not have momentum if you're not going to slide. So that's a fatigue bounce or a infinite wall bounce. So that's how we perform the infinite wall bounce. So we just jump at the wall. We just jump at it without momentum, and then we
And so then you don't have to. It doesn't make your jump not as high. You're getting way higher than I am. I'm just barely. My head's just barely getting to the top of that crevice on the right.
Yeah.
On the left.
Yeah. So we just jump and then jump. That's it. So you run at or you don't run at it because you need to not have momentum. But you jump, and then you jump again when you make contact with the wall. And then you can see, like, so if I hold my left stick forward like this, I'm going to stay tight. See, like, I can go whatever direction I want. I can go to the right. I can go backwards. Just hold your left stick in whatever direction you want to go in. You can go whatever direction you want to go. Doesn't matter. So once you jump, you can hold your left stick whatever direction you want to go in. Now,
I don't understand how you're getting so high.
Yeah, it takes practice. So, like, I sucked at this for, like, 2 months. I only learned this maybe, like, 2 or 3 months ago. And so it's also, like, a pretty brand new technique. Like, movement gods only learned about this, like, a year, maybe a year and a half ago. And then the mainstream public, like, just, like, mainstream players that aren't movement gods have only been doing this for a couple months. So, I mean...
Like you?
Yeah. Like, I'm someone who's not really a movement god, but I'm a pretty good movement player, and I've only been doing it for a couple months. Most movement players, like most average players, or not average, but like most pro players, don't really even use this yet because it's not really mainstream yet. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's super valuable. Like, it's so much more valuable than a normal wall bounce because it's way more versatile. Like, you don't need to slide into the wall, so it's way more versatile. So yeah, that is that. All right. Any questions on that?
Just one. For when I'm climbing, does it matter for me to be like if I'm crouching down? Will I still be able to make the max height if I'm crouching before I wall jump?
Like, if you slide into it?
No, like say I'm crouching behind a wall and waiting for the dude, but I want to surprise him by getting up on the wall. Can I do that while crouching just as up at the same height as normal?
Maybe, but like you don't like. Usually you don't want to crouch in this game, for the most part. I mean, like, you do, but like it doesn't. Well, you can't crouch. You can't crouch in wall bounce. I don't think. No. Well, yeah, you can actually. You can, but it just doesn't really make sense to do it because if someone swings around the wall, your movement speed is so like small. Like, you've got very little movement speed. So usually, like, I don't really crouch and hide. Like, I don't hide much anyways, but like usually I don't crouch and hide. It's more so an offensive thing. So like I just like go boom like that. Like, I don't know. It's like sort of an offensive move because I can do so much damage without taking damage with this. So yeah.
Okay. Well, last thing, and then I guess and then our lesson's done. Do you so for characters to match with Lifeline or Bangalore, which ones would you pick?
Like, so let me just like give you a mindset shift. To tell you the truth, like, in duos, I think you guys are going to be best off if you just play people that you're comfortable with individually. So since you play like if you're better than your brother. So let me explain what I was saying in that message. Okay. Lifeline, what it requires for Lifeline's ability. So her passive is like sort of her best ability.
Yeah.
The requirements for that to be useful are, one, your brother has to get killed. Okay. So it doesn't.
She happens often in a fight.
Yeah, I know. But it doesn't make sense to have an ability that is centered around your brother getting killed, right? It doesn't make sense to be playing a character that relies on someone getting killed, right? Because you want to avoid getting killed in the first place. It's like insurance for a car, right? Like, it's good to have insurance for a car in real life, but at the same time, it's like you still want to avoid crashing, right? Like, obviously, right?
Yeah, you want to be faster and better and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like you insurance is good. I'm not saying insurance isn't good in real life, but you still want to obviously avoid crashing, right? It's the same thing with Lifeline. Like, her ability is only useful if you die. So it's like insurance, right?
Yeah.
But like, I know he dies often, but the other thing that it requires is it requires that he dies in a safe place. Okay. So, like a safe enough place to revive him, and so it just doesn't really make sense for that reason. I mean, I know it's going to win you games. It's going to win you certain games, like certain fights, but there's way better abilities. So, if he's not as good as you, if you're better than him, you need to be on a character that you can carry him on, so that's going to unlock your potential. Because the thing with Lifeline is, it's going to be very hard for you to be aggressive on her at a high level because you don't have any abilities that will bail you out of situations, out of bad situations. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's why I feel like I'm gonna start. I mean, I'm starting to main Bangalore more.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'd recommend. And then also
That
for
is the character.
yeah, Bangalore's really good. She's really good individually. I think you're gonna really like her. But just one more point is, whatever, like whoever your brother plays, I don't think it really matters. He just needs to be on someone that he's best on individually for the most part, because abilities in this game are not that good in comparison to other games. Like most abilities.
Oh.
So like let me explain. So like let's say he's really confident on like Wraith or like Bloodhound or something. Like your brother, if he starts playing Bloodhound for you, you're gonna really appreciate that because you're gonna have scans. That's gonna help you win fights. That's gonna make you better. It's gonna make the team better. But like
Yeah, but that's why I've been trying to tell him to be skin helper to the team. See, his favorite, the skin he wants, he always ends up using is Pathfinder, but he doesn't even know how to use the grapple well. So I normally tell him to be someone like Gibby.
yeah,
He can protect himself in a fight as well, because
yeah,
he dies off.
yeah, it's true. Yeah. Or like okay, but like think about this as a mindset shift to you. What if he plays Wraith? Because if he plays Wraith, then you don't have to worry about him so much. Then you can play your own life, and then you guys can both play to your full potential. Just as an example.
If I end up getting knocked during a fight when I'm Bangalore, I might even be able to smoke myself, and he can come res us.
Yeah, sometimes. But if you're in duos, like they'll probably come kill you anyways, because it's duos, right? So like the other one is Bloodhound. I think you'll like if he's just like if you're a lot better than him, I think you're really gonna like him running a Bloodhound. It's gonna help you a lot. It's also gonna help him. So yeah. But like just like so like in ranked and like pubs, especially pubs, you guys just want to be on someone that you're best with individually, so that you're both playing to your maximum potential, rather than running a comp like Valkyrie Gibby, for example, like a pro comp, right? Because pro players run that comp because they're playing against other pro players, but when you're playing against other like pub players or like ranked players in low level ranked or even pred ranked, you can get away with abilities that help you rather than abilities that are like end game abilities. So the reason Gibby is played in comp so much, like professional play, is because he helps you win games, okay? He helps you win games when there's multiple teams alive. So like, you know how comp, there will be like 10 teams alive on the last circle sometimes? Not like the last one, but like one of the last ones. There will be a lot more teams alive late in the game. And so that's why you need someone like Gibby, because he's going to allow you to stay alive for longer in that situation. But when it comes to pubs, usually you can kill everyone before the last zone anyways, or like even on the third zone, you can kill everyone usually. And so that's why you don't really need someone like Gibby for pubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time because we've already gone way over. So I just thank you for coaching me for this long, and thank you for teaching me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just one last wall bounce. I just have to give you the last one. It's just this. You don't have to try it now. I'm just giving it to you for the video. You just slide, jump, hold forward on the left stick, and then bounce over. That's how you bounce over a wall. And you need to make contact right here, not on the shorter part. If you make contact on the shorter part, you're going to attach. You have to make contact, so you're going to attach like that if you make contact on the shorter part. So you make contact on the taller part from the left side so that your momentum goes right, and then you bounce over like that. So that's the last wall bounce. All right, cool. Okay. Well, yeah, you're welcome for everything. Just feel free to ask if you have any more questions, and have a nice day.
Okay, how will I watch a recording again?
Just ask me for it on Discord. Just send me a message, and I'll send it to you. It's gonna take like 12 hours so for it to be ready.
Okay.
All right, cool. See ya.